me and my friend entered the Juniper dev jam, which is very serious and not at all silly. The theme was spin to win, so like everyone else, our first thought was gambling. We made a list of everything we could think of in relation to the theme. In the end, we decided on something relating to gachapon machines. It would be a turn-based system where you could go to the gachapon hall to get new characters and weapons to equip to them. There was also a type system that we set up, although it wasn't very balanced. We didn't feel strongly about the idea, so we returned to the drawing board to see if anything else came. We decided on making a puzzle game. Originally, we considered adding some combat elements. However, we switched the combat for platforming. For the visuals, we were inspired by Linear Mining Facility, which is a dungeon in The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Story-wise, we decided on having it take place as a game show. Unfortunately, on day 2 neither of us had much time. However, I was able to make some of the mechanics work, and briefly start designing the level. Meanwhile, my teammate got to work on making some 3D models. For this project, I decided to try a very different style of level design, starting with an endpoint and working my way back using the space that was available. This led to more creative use of space and reusing it. However, it will make adding a difficulty curve to this game near impossible. This led to a design with a lot of verticality, where you have to figure out where the start point is, and then tie the knot to try and get to the next section. This sort of multi-layered design to an area was inspired by Crosscode. Its multiple layers of elevation allows for the same area to be reused several times. The next section, in contrast to the first area, which is cramped with multiple layers of platforming, this area is an open room. The goal of the room is to teach to the player as they enter, when they are presented with the tallest pillar in the room, a clear goal. However, the object that is supposed to rotate isn't, so the player has to figure out how to activate it so that they can progress to the top. With a decent amount of the level design done, or at least in a playable state, I decided it was time for my partner in crime to playtest. And it went... where?
I did it.
Needless to say, I had a lot to fix. With all of the 3D models done, it was time to finally implement them. But first I need to fix those issues from yesterday. The game is looking really good now. The lighting will be changed eventually. However, whilst making the level, having the sun there is useful. The pipes that were made are being used as a visual indicator to connect the switches to the things that they make rotate. This makes puzzles a lot more understandable. Kingsley also picked out some funky music for the game. The next section places all its emphasis on the puzzle aspect of the game. There are 2 paths, the main path, as well as a bonus prize you can get. There are 4 areas that can be rotated. Clicking one of the 4 buttons will rotate 3 of them, and will not rotate the one, which is the same as the pedestal arrangement. A few more playtests were done today, which required me to fix quite a few things. With the previous room being fully puzzle focused, this room has a lot more platforming. It's built around the overarching goal of rotating the 3 tunnel pieces at the bottom, so you can make it through the hole in the fences to reach the end point. This will be the last section, as I wanted to make sure that I could polish the rest of the game, as well as do all the super fun things like adding menus. I learned a lot from designing levels in a more vertical way, a lot harder than I thought it would be. It's hard to stop players from just skipping sections. It's definitely worth the extra effort though. To start the final day, I piped up the final room, as well as going through whole levels and reviewing the lighting. We then finally added the voice acting that we decided to add from the beginning.
Congratulations, you have won one of the mugs used by the show's director. We didn't have time to clean it though. Sorry.
Then ending off with finishing the itch page and adding the menus. Overall, I'm quite happy with how the project turned out, although it has highlighted a bit of an issue with my games, namely that they're almost always puzzle platformers, so in future I will try to make a variety of games, so I don't fall into stagnation. Well, that's everything for today. If you want to play the game, the link to the itch page will be in the description. Waning Crescent, signing off.